Hey, good morning everybody. It's about 11:01. And this is I guess you could say my reaction, not my reaction, but this is just, this is basically my thoughts on fans' reactions to last night's Royal Rumble. More specifically, the Rumble match itself, and of course the WWE Championship. Now, it's very true. It's very true that it was predictable in both areas. Very predictable. But you have to give WWE credit for kind of throwing us off a little bit, in the WWE Championship match, as well as kind of throwing us off a bit if we thought Ziggler and Cena were going to be the final two in the Rumble match. Instead, we ended up getting Ryback and Cena. So, you got to give them a little credit for throwing us off there. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, you're blowing smoke. You don't know what you're talking about. Hey, I may not be an expert, but I've been a fan a long time. I read dirt sheets at times, so I have a pretty good idea. I don't have a pretty good idea, but I pretty much have a handle on how things might have gone and how things go when, those in charge, make it happen. Now, again, I understand a lot of people weren't happy with the results, and I understand there's a lot of YWC fans out there that don't like the fact that Cena won. They don't like the fact that Rock won. And mainly what these fans, I think, if you're new to wrestling reviews or people giving their opinions on wrestling, mainly what the IWC and the YWC is the YouTube are short terms for the YouTube wrestling community in the internet wrestling community. Mainly a community that is basically comprises a vast variety of wrestling fans. But a majority of those wrestling fans in these communities are fans of independent wrestling, of pure pro wrestling. Of places like Ring of Honor, New Japan, the independent promotions, like the NWA, if they still take that seriously. CZW, if you like a mixture. And even promotions of the past, like ECW, MLW, places like that. The fans of these promotions, because their main focus is of these promotions as well as of the past and of the present, because their main focus is pure pro wrestling. Yes, they tell a story. The wrestlers, the men and women are there to entertain you, to tell a story and entertain you, but focus more on the wrestling aspect to tell the story. So again, if you're new and you're wondering why a lot of people are complaining about last night, it's mainly because that majority of the vast community known as the IWC and YWC, that vast majority, that basically, let's say I'm going to give them credit, probably about 75% of them. That's why they're upset about last night, because they don't like the fact that you're constantly giving it to guys that, yeah, they can go in the ring, but they're not good, pure pro wrestlers. But there's a reasoning behind it. There's a business sense. It's a business sense, folks. You see, the reason Cena and Rock won last night is, yes, they want to build to the rematch. And again, that's going to go against the once-in-a-lifetime tagline, but is it going to really go against it? You got to think in the ways of WWE. You got to think in ways of, they look at the Rock Cena match last year at WrestleMania and say, that was once in a lifetime in a regular match, a regular non-championship match. But now they could say, here is another once-in-a-lifetime match between them with the championship. In other words, they could say, this is a once-in-a-lifetime WWE Championship match that may never come again. You know what I'm saying? And think of it this way also. Usually when you have two people face each other, like Rock and Cena, usually throughout the year they'll probably have a rematch, right? Within the same year. They're waiting a whole year on this match to happen. They'll wait the whole year on this to happen. So at least they're giving it a year's time to build up. Yeah, everybody knows it's going to happen, but they're giving it a year to build up. Because now, it'll basically allow, storyline-wise, whether people like it or not, for Cena to come full circle. He lost a year before. He's probably going to be booked to win again. But we can't really say that now, can we? But again, that is why it's happening. Also, think of it this way. What's going to put more asses, excuse my language, but what's going to put more asses in the seats at Metlife Stadium? And what is being proposed to be a 90,000 seat sellout. 90,000 plus seat sellout. What marquee match is going to put asses in the seats? Besides Undertaker's match. What match besides that? Besides Undertaker's match against whoever they have him face, and besides the possible match, the rematch between Lesnar and Triple H. What other marquee match is going to put asses in the seat? In the seats of 90,000 seats. What marquee match? Exactly. Rock Cena. Not Cena Punk, not Rock Punk, Cena Rock. That's what's going to put asses in the seats. And I know you're thinking, oh, well, they're going to do it. And I know you're thinking, oh, well, if they do it again this year, they'll probably do it again next year. Well, constantly have Rock Cena as the main event every year. No, we're not. You see, technically, this is going to be I feel what this is going to be is a passing of the torch. I know what you're thinking. Cena doesn't need the torch passed. Well, guess what? The only way, in WWE's minds, the only way Cena's going to be totally embraced by the people, by the entire fan base, even those that chant Cena sucks, the only way that they're going to embrace him is for him to beat The Rock and for The Rock to pass the torch to him by doing so. Just like, even though fans got behind them, even though fans got behind him before this, just like when Hogan lost the Ultimate Warrior, more fans got behind Warrior than ever before. And Hogan basically passed the torch to Warrior that night. Kind of get what I'm saying? That's basically, in the WWE's mentality, what they're probably planning to do. That is why this is happening. And also, from a business sense, Rock Cena 2, like I said, in their minds, besides the other main event matches that they probably have solidified and ready to go, that marquee main event match will be the one that puts people's asses in those 90,000 seats. That's what's going to happen. That's why it happened. That's why the results of last night occurred. Predictable or not, that's why they occurred. You guys got to think of it from that perspective. I mean, I understand. I totally get this. I totally get that if WWE decided, you know what? We're going to go the indie route, and we're going to put one of our marquee shows in the Hammerstein Ballroom. I can understand if they would have put something like WrestleMania, which will never happen, or something like Survivor Series or SummerSlam or whatever, or even one of the in-your-house shows, if you will, like Elimination Chamber, whatever you want to call it. If they decided, hey, we're going to put it inside the Hammerstein Ballroom, there's no doubt, from a business sense, WWE, whether you like them or not, they realize, you know what? We do this at the Hammerstein Ballroom. We can't have Cena and Rock as the winners. We can't have Cena and Rock as the main event. They'll get booed right out of the building. What do? Simple. You give the audience that you know is going to be there what they want. And what they want would be the top indie wrestlers in your company main eventing. And from a business standpoint, that would be a good business decision. Just like from a business standpoint, Rock and Cena at Metlife Stadium is a good business decision because it's going to fill up the arena. It's going to fill up the stadium, I should say, along with the other marquee matches that they got. It's going to fill up the stadium, and WWE knows that. They know that, all right? And again, it's the same sense. If WWE was to hold one of those shows in Hammerstein Ballroom, they know from a business sense that if they did Rock Cena in there, that wouldn't get over. Fans would boo, fans would want refunds. But they know, hey, if we put CM Punk against Daniel Bryan in the main event, it'll sell out. Or we put CM Punk against Seth Rollins, it'll sell out. Or CM Punk or Daniel Bryan against Dean Ambrose or whatever, it would sell out. Because those are indie fans, because that's an indie fan's home promotion. That's their home arena in the New York vicinity. Taking my time there. But again, from a business sense, they know that putting Rock and Cena as a marquee main event at MetLife Stadium, along with Undertaker and whoever they haven't faced, Triple H, Lesnar too, and whatever else, they realize from a business sense, and said it's going to work. They realize from a marquee business sense, it's the thing that's going to get a lot of people there. They know it. Yeah, WrestleMania is going to sell out anyway, but they know to really get a lot more people in there, because they realize there's still tickets left. To get those tickets sold out, they realize they got to have Cena and Rock. They realize that. They got to have that match. And think of it this way. Their match, along with Lesnar and Triple H, doesn't happen automatically. It doesn't happen the following month or something like that. It's taking months, if not a year, to build towards. Yeah, you'll say it's a stupid redemption story for Cena, but you know what? In WWE's sense, it's not, like I said, it's not a redemption story. It's not just that, but it's a passing of the torch. That's how they look at it. So, from a business sense, Cena and Rock being a marquee main event at MetLife Stadium, they know it's going to get people's asses in those seats. And they realize if they were to hold something like that, like a Mania event, like a WrestleMania at Hammerstein Ballroom, they realized the only way to get people in those seats would be to do a main event like CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, or CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, or Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose, or whatever. They realize that's the only way. It's business sense, folks. And yes, Rock being champion does give him more media coverage. I get that too. But again, you combine all that together, and you combine that all together, and you realize it's not just that, but from a business sense of getting 90,000 plus people to sell out MetLife Stadium, they need a marquee main event match, and Rock Cena 2's that match. Along with, like I say, Undertaker and Triple H's match. Undertaker and whoever he faces, and Triple H Lesnar, their marquee match, along with those to attract 90,000 people there, is Rock Cena 2. So that's why it's happening. Again, I understand people don't like it. Again, I understand the vast majority of the IWC and YWC, which are independent wrestling fans, don't like it. But you know what? You got to deal with it. So, if you got any comments, let me know down below what you guys think. What do you think of this whole outcry from the YWC and IWC about last night? Give me your thoughts down below. Video responses are greatly appreciated. I'll talk to you all later.